Unveiling the legacy of civil rights icons. The fight for civil rights in America has been a long and arduous journey, shaped by the courage and determination of countless individuals. Today, we honor the legacies of civil rights icons who changed the course of history, standing against injustice and advocating for equality. From the early struggles against slavery to the modern-day movements fighting systemic racism, their stories inspire us to continue the fight for justice. Let us take a closer look at the lives and legacies of these remarkable individuals, exploring their contributions and the lasting impact they have had on our society. Martin Luther King Jr., the Dreamer. Martin Luther King Jr., a beacon of hope and nonviolent resistance, became the face of the civil rights movement. His famous "I Have a Dream" speech, delivered during the 1963 March on Washington, called for an end to racism and a vision of unity. King envisioned a world where children would be judged by their character rather than the color of their skin. His powerful oratory and commitment to peaceful protest galvanized millions, drawing attention to the plight of African Americans in the South and beyond. King's leadership was instrumental in landmark legislation, including the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965, forever altering the landscape of American society. Through his efforts, King not only changed laws, but also hearts, inspiring a generation to stand up against injustice. Rosa Parks, the mother of the movement. Rosa Parks' refusal to give up her seat on a Montgomery bus sparked the Montgomery bus boycott and became a symbol of resistance against racial segregation. Parks, often called the mother of the civil rights movement, took a courageous stand against the injustice she faced daily. Her act of defiance on December 1, 1955, ignited a year-long boycott of the bus system, showcasing the power of collective action. Parks's bravery inspired others to join the fight for civil rights, highlighting the power of individual action in the face of systemic injustice. By standing firm, she demonstrated that one person's act of courage could catalyze change, inspiring future activists to challenge oppression and demand equal rights. Malcolm X, the voice of empowerment. Malcolm X, a powerful advocate for Black empowerment and self-determination, emphasized the importance of identity and pride within the African American community. He articulated the frustrations and anger felt by many who had suffered under systemic oppression and called for a more militant approach to civil rights. His famous quote, "By any means necessary," resonated deeply with those seeking immediate change and justice. Malcolm X's speeches and writings challenged the status quo, inspiring a sense of pride and urgency among African Americans. His call for a more radical approach to civil rights sparked intense debates within the movement, reminding us of the diversity of thought that shaped the struggle for equality. Even after his assassination in 1965, his legacy endures, inspiring countless activists to continue the fight for justice and equality. Angela Davis, a revolutionary voice. Angela Davis emerged as a leading figure in the fight against racial and gender injustice. Her activism for prison reform and against systemic oppression resonated across generations. A member of the Black Panther Party and a prominent scholar, Davis's work has focused on the intersectionality of race, class, and gender, advocating for a holistic approach to social justice. Her famous phrase, "Freedom is a constant struggle," encapsulates her belief that the fight for justice is interconnected across various movements. Davis's contributions extend beyond her activism. Her writings continue to inspire movements for social justice worldwide, making her an enduring figure in contemporary discussions about race and equality. Today, her work reminds us that true liberation requires the dismantling of all forms of oppression. John Lewis, the fighter for justice. John Lewis, a former chairman of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, played a pivotal role in organizing nonviolent protests and marches, including the Selma to Montgomery marches. His commitment to nonviolence and civil disobedience made him a key figure in the movement, demonstrating the power of peaceful protest to effect change. Lewis's leadership during the brutal confrontation known as Bloody Sunday highlighted the violent resistance faced by civil rights activists and galvanized support for the movement nationwide. Throughout his life, Lewis continued to advocate for justice and equality, serving as a congressman and encouraging young people to engage in activism. His lifelong commitment to activism reminds us that the struggle for civil rights is ongoing, emphasizing the importance of youth involvement in the movement. John Lewis's famous words, "Never ever be afraid to make some noise and get in good trouble," resonate strongly today. Legacy and impact, continuing the fight. The legacies of these civil rights icons extend far beyond their time. Their struggles laid the groundwork for future generations, reminding us that the fight for justice is never truly over. The impact of their work can be seen in contemporary movements advocating for racial equality, gender justice, and LGBTQ+ rights. As we look around, we see the continuation of their legacies in the activism of today's youth who rally against systemic racism, police brutality, and social injustice. Their stories remind us that the struggle for civil rights is a marathon, not a sprint. As we honor their contributions, we must also reflect on our role in continuing the fight for equality and justice in our communities, ensuring that their sacrifices were not in vain. The legacy of civil rights icons serves as a powerful reminder that change is possible when we come together. The legacies of Martin Luther King Jr., Rosa Parks, Malcolm X, Angela Davis, and John Lewis remind us that change is possible through collective action and unwavering determination. Their stories inspire us to continue advocating for a more just and equitable world. As we reflect on their contributions, let us also commit to being active participants in the ongoing fight for civil rights. Every voice matters, and every action counts. Let us honor their legacies by carrying the torch of justice forward, ensuring that the dream of equality becomes a reality for all, regardless of race, gender, or background. If you found inspiration in the stories of these remarkable individuals, subscribe to our channel for more stories that uncover the legacies of those who fought for justice and equality. Together, let's continue their work and amplify their voices.